case I'm going to utilize this. Because when he was fighting against the third Raikage. Which, is important because a lot of people actually downplay Seijima Naruto, and I don't know why. Like, Seijima Naruto is a fucking beast. And, like, there'd be some people that have the audacity, like, I think even King Bullet was one of them, to say that fucking Taka Sasuke or 5 Kage Summit Sasuke could be able to speed blitz Seijima Naruto. It's it's like, bro, like, hell no. Like, he would be able to react and sense it, you know what I mean? Like, he would be able to dodge a Mataratsu.
That's why he did it when they met.
Yeah, exactly. But, like, it's just, it's to the point where it's like, don't get me wrong, 5 Kage Summit is no fucking joke. That Sasuke, he's a beast. But, like, he's not. His Amaterasu, and even the arrow, that can be dodged by Sage Mode, at least. And the only reason, not because of, Naruto's, like, just normal reaction or base combat speed, is literally the whole point of Sage Mode is to be able to react and deal with people that are either faster than you or stronger, And it also makes you faster and stronger as well, so that helps too. But yeah, he's going to be able to dodge a Mataratsu and fucking the arrow and shit, or his Susanoo attacks, That's an absolute, like, no given, you know what I mean? And if this man is able to, like, inflict enough power to fucking do physical damage to Full Tail Beast, and shit like that and whatnot, and, like, you know what I mean? And, like, fucking, or better yet, grab Kurama by his tail. And yes, I know it's half the power, but it's still very impressive. Grab him by his fucking tail and slam him on the ground. Like, Seijima Naruto's no joke, bro. Like, if Tsunade could break through fucking Edo Madara Susanoo shit, like, you're not telling me Naruto wouldn't be able to break through certain versions of the Susanoo that Sasuke could have. That's just fucking stupid, Yeah. Like, he's very strong. Now, when Sasuke eventually gets, to a certain degree of Susanoo defense, which I believe that was, like, when everybody pulled up on him. That's when he had, like, the next level. And even when he gets towards fighting Danzo, like, even there, too, I think that's when it got to its max. That level and everything, I don't know about Naruto being able to punch through that. You know what I mean? Because those fucking Susanos are over here having fucking durability feats of tanking Jubido's fucking Truth Seeker orbs, which is ridiculous. And I know that's EMS Sasuke, but still, like, fucking, like, that's pretty crazy.
Dude, that was like fucking a rib cage.
Yeah, man.
It's crazy.
Like, yeah, it was I think it was his hand though. I don't think it was a rib cage.
No, it was the rib cage state.
Oh, okay. And he just used the hand.
In the hands, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just crazy. Like, and yes, if you want to be, stingy or whatever, be like, oh, well, that's only EMS Sasuke, so he's strong, whatever. At the end of the day, what people forget is the main thing with EMS, the only thing that we know for a fact that is proven, is that you don't have to worry about fatiguing yourself, being in pain, and running out of your vision and being nerfed to multiple degrees, okay? You basically can spam your abilities, have infinite Susanoo, there's no backlash, you know what I mean? Nothing. That's the main thing we know. And second, okay, there's nothing to actually state, legitimately, like, all this, there is statements out there to support the idea that the Sharingan, you know what I mean, the Mingekyo and all that can make you amped or powerful, but they're very vague, and that's more based on interpretation, while there's nothing, basically to say that it's actual concrete to where when you have the EMS, now it just makes you more powerful. You know what I mean? Like, it can make you more powerful in a sense because of not having the drawbacks and the lash and, all that stuff. That's fine, and that's probably why they're saying more powerful, but either way, it's one or the other. You know what I mean? There's nothing, concrete, so that's why it gets a little hard. So you could make the argument and be like, well, EMS Sasuke is technically the same as 5 Kage Sasuke, but the only difference, he just doesn't suffer that, the repercussions of utilizing the Mingekyo, And you could also imply that with that time skip, he was training and getting more stronger too, There's nothing wrong with that as well. So you could argue against that and be like, that's not because he just has EMS, you know what I mean? You could still say it's still the same no matter what, but just for other reasons why, whatever. So either way, what I'm trying to say, you know what I mean? Like, that could just be that. I do know there's, like, other statements where Tobirama talks about it and explains it, and I even believe Obito does too. not with EMS, just like how the Sharingan can make an Uchiha stronger, or the Mangekyo, because like the more hatred they get, or the more pain, or just their or better yet, or this like their emotions and just the power of love as well. So he does like kind of emphasize and elaborate on that, but once again, he's saying that, but it's annoying because I wish someone would just come out and be like, to where it makes them more powerful, like more speed, or like indicating more direct to what they're implying, instead of it just saying just in general. He's still being vague, you know what I mean, to where that could just mean now they have Susanoo, then they have greater Genjutsu and more hacks abilities and all this shit, and all that, which is why they become more powerful and more strong because of the hatred and yada yada, because it sends a unique chakra to their eye when they get more hatred, or the agony or pain of losing someone, and that develops the next stage of their eye, you know what I mean? Which, yes, in that sense, you can imply would make them stronger, but is it in the literal sense of actually amping them overall, or is it just because of those factors? You get what I'm saying? So you could argue either one, and that's why it's stupid. But anyways, back to the thing. Bottom line is, I don't know. Like, I feel like, don't get me wrong, I know he's strong, but with Taijutsu, Naruto's not bypassing fucking Sasuke's like strongest Susanoo defense form. You know what I mean? With just his punch, like he would need to
the fucking humanoid or no the armor. Yeah, the armor.
Yeah. Like like certain versions, but not that. Like and even if Naruto was to throw a Rising Shuriken, you know what I mean, or a massive Rasengan, like it's still kind of hard. Like maybe like if he's spamming like Rising Shurikens and a bunch of like what he did against Kurama, like all those shadow clones that had like a shit ton of massive Risingans, or even what he did against Madara's wood style attack, maybe what I mean, that could be able to break through, or go through it, or at least for 5 Kage Summit Sasuke, but EMS, I don't even think that would work on EMS either, bro. Like dead ass. Like I'm sorry, but that's a feat alone of him blocking a 6 paths fucking True Seeker Orb 8p attack. That is insane. You know what I mean? No. Like there's no way you're gonna tell me Rasengan or all that is better than fucking that, unless it's Sage Mode. But actually, technically, I'm forgetting something. Naruto was able to injure Jubito with 6 paths, in Sage Mode with his Rasengan, and he was able to break through his True Seeker orbs with his massive and his Kurama avatar, along with Minato. So technically, Naruto might be able to maybe might be able to. Because if Jubito wasn't able to do it, and Naruto could break through that and beat that, you could argue that he might be able to if he does enough chakra or enough attacks, on the same level. You know what I mean? But that can only be a possibility for like Naruto though. It's fun, what I mean? He just has so much chakra, and Sage Mode's crazy. I totally forgot about that. But either way, bottom line is Sasuke has crazy durability. You know what I mean? Crazy. Like crazy durability shit with his Susanoo. Yeah, like it's just insane. So, but no, what was I'm trying to think of something else that I was thinking of at a certain point. Like whenever I have like certain topics, I got to start like writing them down in my notes or something, or put them in my notes, because like the next thing they're gone, and then you don't fucking remember what they were. It's annoying.
Yeah, no doubt.
What things you guys can think of or something to talk about? I don't know. Change it up.
I just have a question. Like, do you guys think that Kaguya was just absolutely destroying Naruto and Sasuke in their fight?
Like, she had moments where she was kind of, giving them a run for their money, but they still did pretty well. Like, and then not only, one thing I will say is, like, at least for Naruto, like, he was able to fight against Kaguya for a good while, holding her off while Sasuke was away from him.
No, that's all I want to hear. Thank you.
Yeah, like she wasn't just straight up dogging them. Like there were certain moments where it was, where, but then they were kind of improvising and kind of getting a feel for her abilities and shit, and And then even Naruto by himself was able to even use Boil Release to speed blitz her and hit her. He was able to fucking, you know what I mean, like summon all his shadow clones where they're all fighting against her and everything. And then they even did like that one technique where each one of them did like a fucking, like a tail beast rising shuriken, you know what I mean? But like a massive one, like one was lava, one was boiled, and all the other ones are, you know, different. And he like threw all that shit, like fucking, I believe he even did like a Biju Bomb rising shuriken at her too. Like he was fighting her, bro. He was giving her a run for her money. You know, like Naruto was no joke. Yeah, like he was doing good, and like at the end of the day, like we do know that you don't just have to only seal her to beat her. Like if you have enough power and everything, you can kill her. Like that's even shown with Jubi Madara. Fucking.
Also another thing they argue about pisses me off as well.
Yeah, like
she cannot be killed. She literally died.
No, she can be killed, and the reason why is because with Jubi Madara, like he even tells Guy like, "You little bitch, you almost killed me," and then he uses regeneration to heal. That's the only reason why he didn't die. But like if you do enough power and attack to where it does kill them, they're dead. You know what I mean? Even with the 6-pass transformation and everything, or as it, you know, all it is what Jubito and Jubi Madara is, they basically become an Ususuki. You know what I mean? Like basically just become like them, but just their own way. You know?
Yeah, even though Kaguya is different, but I was talking about the fact that like Zetsu had to revive her. He revived her. That means she died.
Yeah, exactly. Like fucking.
You're taking the resurrection way too literally.
Yeah, like fucking like she got sealed, and then basically with the fact that like, so that's the thing. If you're sealed, then you're alive. But it wasn't that she was just sealed. She sealed and died. Because she was probably sealed for who knows how long. And the reason why we know that's true is because there's been other characters that have been sealed, and then when they're unsealed, they're still alive. You know what I mean? What's it called? And so then you have, Kaguya, to where she was sealed and then sealed for fucking a very long time, which is probably why she died. And then, like you said, Zetsu had to bring her back, like literally revive her. Like, you know what I mean? So it makes no sense to say that she wasn't dead, because if she wasn't dead, then all Zetsu would have had to do was undo the seal. You know what I mean? Figure out a way to undo the seal. That's it.
To be fair, her sealing goes a bit more than that, because it's not like she was just sealed. Like a good portion of her chakra was ripped out of her and split into the 9 Biju. So it's not even that.
And that too.
Her being sealed. She was split between like 9 different beings.
Yeah.
So I don't think she was dead. I think she had to be brought back to full.
Exactly. So overall, like, yeah, it's silly, but either way, like, if Naruto does enough AP, you know what I mean? Like, he could be able to kill her. And to be fair, she wasn't just tanking attacks. She was dodging. She was avoiding them. She was using her dimension shit. You know what I mean? Like, so clearly implying that if she probably got hit by their attacks, that she could be killed. You know? Or very injured.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Because Kakashi was able to hurt her.
Exactly.
And I refuse to believe that.
And Naruto.
Naruto and Sasuke don't have that level.
Yeah, Naruto did as well. Where he did Boil Release, he fucking rocked her shit and speed blitzed her. You know what I mean?
Sakura was able to break off part of her horn.
Yeah, and give her like a bruise and everything on her head. Like, so overall, like fucking like, she's not invincible. She does have healing regeneration. So if you do an AP that's not enough to kill her, then she'll just heal. But either way, like, she can be killed. It's not that she can only be sealed. It's very fucking ignorant. So,
you think she can utilize karma like the other Oxygen members?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see why not. Yeah, she is like an alien. Yeah.
Yeah, they literally talk about it.
Which I don't really know that much about commerce. I don't really speak on it. All I do know is it's like a new mark that's being introduced in Boruto.
Yeah, it is.
People are assholes. Like the amount of spoilers that I fucking have come across on YouTube because people like it's hilarious. Like it's like they either put it in their fucking thumbnail or they put it as a title, and it's like, bro, if you're gonna do that shit, you know what I mean? Like fucking, like you know what I mean? Like fuck you, like go fucking. Like, you don't have to do that. You know what I mean? Like, you really don't. Like, I don't know why people do that shit, bro. And if you are, at least give someone a heads up, like post a video, like a title video or something, and be like, hey, I'm going to be talking about a lot of spoiler shit, or I'm going to be having my next content videos, and this playlist is going to be spoiler related things or theories or whatever. Like, so if you don't want to hear that or whatever, then figure it out. Don't look at my shit or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, but they don't do that because they don't want to lose you as a subscriber and et cetera, and viewers, et cetera, you know? So it's annoying. Fucking, I hate people like that.
That's why when we talk about this shit, I always restrain myself, you know?
Yeah, like, I hate it, bro. Like, it bothers me so much because, like I said, Naruto wouldn't have really made an impact to me as much as it did if I already knew things. You know what I mean? Like, when I first watched Naruto and Shippuden, like, I loved it a lot because of me, you know what I mean, going through it and oh shit, and just one example, the whole plot twist with Itachi. You know what I mean? Like, if someone actually spoiled that for me and I never knew, and I would have been pissed, you know? Like, so, like, it's just shit like that and just annoying. Like, so, like, I know certain things, but I don't know everything, or better yet, I don't know the overall context and yada yada. The only things I do know that, like, really kind of annoyed me as well was that the Nine Tails dies. So that was annoying. And then also Sasuke loses Rinnegan. So that shit pissed me off. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like,
that? You know about that?
Yeah, I don't know how it happened. I just know that it happened.
Dude, I was hoping that you wouldn't know about that. Fuck me.
Yeah, no, it's people are assholes, bro. Like, so that was spoiled for me. So, like, literally, I'm actually going to be starting it today. I'm going to start watching Boruto today and just do reaction videos.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to start doing that today and then get into it this way because it's only a matter of time before more and more it just keeps, you know, it is what it is. And it's annoying because now that I'm making, you know, what if I'm making content or I even utilize YouTube myself, you know, fucking, like, it's just inevitable, you know what I mean? So it's like typically in character, I didn't have these issues before because I wasn't on YouTube 24/7, believe it or not. I was either just playing video games, going outside, working out, school, you know, you name it. I was a kid, okay? Like, you know what I mean? So, like, I didn't have that as an issue. So when I was watching Naruto or Naruto Shippuden, whatever I was watching, that was on my own time, you know what I mean? And that's how I watched and figured out things, you know? But nowadays, bro, and it wasn't even as bad as it was before, too, if I'm being honest, even if I went on YouTube, you know? Now it's like, nobody doesn't give a fuck. You know, like, fucking, like, no one doesn't care at all, bro. They'll be tweeting things, they'll be fucking, it's so bad, bro. So it's literally to the point where it's like, I can't wait anymore, which that's how I was. I don't know about you guys, but I can't stand on waiting for the next episode or something. I'd rather just wait and let it finish out, and then, you know what I mean? And then there you go. This way, when I watch it all, I can keep watching and do it on my own schedule nonstop and not have to wait. I hate that feeling. But now, with how everything is, it's like, you know what I mean? You know, it's a no-winning situation. It's like, what do? Do I fucking be spoiled and wait, or do not be spoiled and have to wait? And I'd rather not be spoiled and have to wait, you know?
Realistically, with how it goes as well, you could not wait and still have the spoilers with how fast these things get pushed out.
True, but it's highly unlikely.
Yeah. Overall, it's just annoying. It's fucking stupid. But anyway, so that was done. And then there was one more other thing that it was like a meme or like something that people are posting on social media of how this guy was bullying, I don't know who it was, but it was showing a guy using Sasuke as a surfboard, okay, and then, okay, that explains it then. He was using him as a surfboard, just sliding, like fucking slamming his ass on the ground, just sliding him everywhere. And then it was showing certain things he did to Naruto, and I'm like, and when I saw that, bro, the only thing I could think of was like, bro, they keep nerfing my boys. I fucking hate Boruto. No, I know, but that's what I was thinking in my head. Like, I was like, I swear to God, if these motherfuckers get dog ragged one more time. But that makes sense then. But either way, like, I saw that, and it made me laugh because of how it looked, and I was like, bro. And I'm like, and so basically people, like, they were posting that because they were showing, like, when Sasuke and Naruto are still nerfed or whatever, you know, and shit. And so it just made me laugh, and I'm over here just thinking that's what it was. I mean, not like an actual scaling thing or whatever, because there is even another thing that people posted that got mad apparently in the beginning to where Naruto's QB Biju avatar is getting bypassed by a sword, and he gets stabbed.
Oh yeah.
So
but that's no. That's something else. They're stupid. That
oh,
didn't
okay.
happen like that. The sword was like I should tell you this because just so you know, the sword was Sasuke's, and the guy had an ability to control weapons, so he just fucking moved the sword into Naruto. But they were both standing under the avatar, so it didn't bypass that fucking avatar.
Oh, okay. So it was already in there. Gotcha.
Yeah, it was already in there.
Okay, so they're just being rowdy then. But anyways, but it's just little shit like that. But that's all I know so far. That's it. Nothing else. You know what I mean? So, but that's why I want to start getting on the ball of it because I'm gonna lose my shit if I see one more thing. And then another thing that was also, was spoiled is that Naruto has a new form. What's it called? And I've seen what it looks like, but nothing else. You know what I mean? Which I'm fine with that. It is what it is. What's it called? Because once again, people just can't fucking restrain themselves or at least be considerate for people that haven't seen it or had the time.
To be fair, you saw some of video from Six, right? And he mentions that sometimes or Swag even.
I probably have heard some things too, but it either just went past my ears because I didn't know what they were talking about at that moment, or whatever. I don't know.
They were comparing it to something. That's why they mentioned it.
Yeah.
You heard the video.
All right. I want to think of something. Let's think of a good thing. Didn't you guys want to talk about fucking Data versus Jiraiya? Wasn't that like a whole other thing?
Yeah, that was the reason we're here.
Yeah. So.
But we do that, I need to talk to you about the thing that I wanted to talk to you about. That Minato versus Tobirama video.
Okay.
I had to talk to you about
Yeah, you told me, yeah.
Yeah, I always fucking keep it 100 with you.
Yeah, I know.
So, dude, that video was good. I would even call it great. But that was up until the point I reached the last 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. I had to check if that was your channel.
Oh my god. What was it? I don't remember. What was the last 5 minutes that I said? What'd I do?
The last 5 minutes were basically 2 points, right?
Mm.
You were comparing Minato and Tobirama.
Yeah.
And you were saying that... wait, what? Oh, okay, I got it now. So,
you got it?
Tobirama went against Madara with one Rinnegan, Sage Mode. And you compared that to Minato going against 14-year-old Obito.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, and you said Tobirama got fucking smacked by Madara. Meanwhile, Minato fucking bypassed Kamui, figured it out, and then he did that, and he won against Obito. Yeah.
The only reason why I brought that comparison up, what I was trying to basically say in comparison is to where Tobirama couldn't even land a flying Raijin on someone that is not utilizing a Hack's ability. You know what I mean?
No, but it's fucking Sage Mode Madara.
Yeah, true. It is Sage Mode Madara, but fucking the fact that he still couldn't be able to land an attack or really do anything. You know what I mean? I was just kind of I was utilizing that more as a downplay to where Madara, his only thing is to just be able to react and dodge, and he's using Sage Mode, which it is what it is. It's Sage Mode, so yeah, cool. But the funny thing is flying Raijin, literally the whole point of flying Raijin is space and time. You're altering it basically to where you're moving in between it, and then you immediately appear, into where basically things could be looking in slow motion, and then you go, and then the only thing at that point when you utilize it, the only thing the other guy can do if he doesn't have flying Raijin is just react. You know what I mean? They either can't react or they can, and which is. Yeah, and he reacts twice to beat him.
He reacts twice.
Yeah, so or actually, is it twice or 3 times? Because there's a time skip, which is the 3rd time, because eventually Tobirama gets in the ground. So I believe he had to react 3 times then, yeah. But anyways, the reason why I was showing that is because, Madara just reacts whatever, he misses, right? Obito, on the other hand, okay, you gotta fucking literally perfectly time that shit, okay? And then hit him fast enough. You know what I mean? Or whatever. Because...
But still, it's 14-year-old Obito. Sage Mode Rinnegan Madara.
No, I know. I'm just saying. And then you even have a point where where there's like Jubi Madara, like where he fucking like tries to attack Obito, and it just goes right through him. You know what I mean? So Kamui is crazy. I mean, like you got to be really fast or time that shit to hit someone utilizing Kamui. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like Minato is able to pull it off, which is an impressive feat itself because Kamui, it's supposed to be automatic. You know what I mean? You know, so and the fact that like Minato was able to time that shit perfectly with Flying Raijin, you know, which obviously, you know, it's one of two things. Either he was faster than his Kamui to activate, which is insane because that's only been shown with the Mataratsu, or two, because I believe at that moment it's showing Obito touching Minato as well. So you could basically say that that's when he finally materialized his body, you know what I mean, and was about to absorb him and then gets hit before that can happen. You know what I mean? Which would make more sense because I believe Minato's whole analysis, deduction thing was literally him saying, I have to hit him at the exact moment he materializes, you know? Which is why he threw the kunai through his head, and the moment it went out and the moment Obito's about to grab him and suck him in, then he teleports and slams it. So, you know what I mean? I don't, you know, but either way, like, you know, with Minato, the reason why I was showing that as a comparison is when 9 times out of 10 Minato is utilizing the Flying Raijin, he's successful in his attacks, or to at least land the hit. You know what I mean? While compared to Tobirama, you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't really have a successful rate. The only times he's ever really done something was either on the mindless Jubito, which just fucking spears through him, you know, and then has paper bombs placed in him because of that. And that only happened because Tobirama is in Edo. And then literally like fucking, then he does like a marking on him as well when that happened at that moment. But, you know, either way, like it's like fucking with the Flying Raijin, not the marking at the very least. Whenever Tobirama does the Flying Raijin, like he's only had one moment where it worked, and that was on fucking Madara's brother, you know. Which I'm gonna be real with you, like fucking if you compare Kamui to Izuna, okay, you know what I mean? Like it's still more impressive for Minato to land a hit compared to Tobirama landing that hit on him. And you could easily just argue that Izuna at that point was getting exhausted, fatigued, or going blind because he only has a Mangekyo. You know what I mean? So you just don't know.
You can argue that, but there is no way you can argue with Madara.
That's something else. Yeah, true, exactly.
And he had Sage Mode, and it was Madara. Come on.
Yeah, so, you know what I mean? But, so that's the only reason why I was kind of showing that. You know what I mean? It probably would have been better to show Izuna to that as well, but I was just kind of, you know.
Yeah, it should have do that.
Just going. But no, that's fine.
That was the first point. That was the first point. And the second point, that was right after that it led to that. You said, like, this is exactly what you said. That Tobirama got his ass handed to him like the little bitch he is by Madara. Meanwhile, Minato was able to fucking... You didn't say speed blitz. I know that for sure, but you said something similar. And let me remind you, no, he didn't do that. Minato got his ass handed to him by Madara. Both times. Or
that was Jubi Madara though.
Yeah, that was Jubi. Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
Which is a stronger Madara. Which is the reason why I was showing that is because when Minato did the Flying Raijin, if you look at the manga and in the anime, the manga has like a mark over Madara's head. He was like, "Oh shit," because he didn't expect him to appear. So the fact that he was even able to catch him off guard was, was impressive. And then obviously Madara reacted and just cut his arm off and fucking kicked him away.
They still blitzed him, and it was instant Flying Raijin.
Yeah. So I thought that was impressive. And then, come on, if it's Sage Mode using Flying Raijin, I mean, like, that's going to be more better too. So that's probably why it looked more impressive as well. But I was just comparing and contrasting. While Tobirama does it on a Madara that's not Jubi Madara, just with Sage Mode and Rinna, which don't get me wrong, he's still fucking crazy powerful, but like he does it on him, and he did that like I think it was behind Madara. Minato did it in front of him. Tobirama did it behind him, and he still couldn't hit him, or whatever. So I don't know. It was whatever. But that happened, and then there was a second moment where Minato does it without Sage Mode, and he's able to teleport in front of the True Seeking Orbs before a guy gets hit. So,
but those are True Seeking Orbs and not Madara.
True, yeah, true. True Seeking Orbs are slower than Madara.
And I know that it would benefit Minato in this case, because that was Jubidara the first instance, and Tobirama just went against, Sage Mode, the One Rinnegan. Mm-hmm. But No, like you cannot say that Minato fucking speed blitzed him or something similar, because that didn't happen. That's just straight up bullshit. He got his ass handed to him by Madara.
Yeah, well, what I mean is, like, he immediately got up to him, and then Madara, like, realized, like, you know, kind of like last minute. You know what I mean? Like, obviously Madara was still able to react, but he did, like, technically speed blitz him in a sense to where, like, he came up on him and he's like, oh shit, you know what I mean? So...
Oh, of course, because he used the flying Raijin.
Yeah. It was kind of similar. It was like... Yeah. It was kind of similar to, like, when Guy did the 7th gate. He did literally the same exact thing, and it surprised Madara as well with his level of speed, but Madara was still obviously reacting and moving, you name it. So, yeah, but it wasn't me, like, to downplay Madara or anything like that. It was just... It was just me mainly just showing, like, you know, that Minato just utilizes the flying Raijin. It's still, at least in comparison, just on a better level than Tobirama, you know? And along with him...
Like, there's a lot more than this, and this was just straight up a bank in my eye, because that didn't fucking happen. I'm telling you, he didn't speed blitz him. He fucking got his ass handed to him. He was able to get there because he used an ability that teleports you instantly.
Yeah, exactly, you know, so... But I'm just saying, like, if Tobirama did that, I mean, in front, like, it would have been the same. It would have been, like, fucking the same shit, but he wouldn't have been surprised. He would have just been, oh, hey, and then fucked him up. Like, he was actually surprised when Minato did that. Like, he showed, like, an expression in his face, like, oh, hello, you know what I mean? Like, while Tobirama does it from behind, and he just casually, you know, dodges and just like, oh, I mean, hey, dickhead, you know what I mean? Just deals with him at ease, and that's it, you know? I don't know. It's, you know, overall, it's not like nothing too crazy, but I get what you're saying, though.
Well, if we want to go with certain people form of logic, I could argue that was Edo Minato, and since Edo nerfs Minato greatly, that regular Minato will be far more severe than we saw, so he should be able to speed blitz that Madara. If I wanted to hold...
It's a catch, yeah, I don't know. Even if he was alive, I don't think he would still be able to do it either. Like, even if with his save mode, but...
I don't think so.
Yeah, but no, I get it.
I wanted to hold him on.
Because, like, and that's the thing, too. Like, they're both in Edo, and yet Minato just performs better with it, utilizes it better, then give him Sage Mode to enhance it even more, or better yet, KCM to enhance it even more. Then also give, if he even stacks that shit, too, like, and then using Flying Raijin, like, come on, bro. It's like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, it's so stupid. And then not only that, like, once again, like, this is just the main thing. Like, Tobirama literally says he's better at teleporting. Like, that's why I don't even understand why it's even a thing. He literally says it. Why would fucking Tobirama just say that? It doesn't make sense. You know?
He wouldn't if it wasn't true.
Exactly. Like, it's so fucking dumb.
Like,
exactly. Tobirama doesn't bullshit. He's the biggest dick asshole on the face of the planet. You know what I mean? Like, he's very intelligent. He's very straightforward. He's very paranoid. Always serious. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't just say shit to say shit, you know? And another thing that sucks about Tobirama as well is he can't teleport simultaneously like Minato can. That's even stated by him, and that's because Minato has the KCM, the Nine Tails. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's literally to the point where Minato just has even more advantages to where Tobirama can only teleport one at a time, while Minato can teleport simultaneously, you know? So it's like, he has more advantages, he's better at teleportation than him, you know what I mean? Like, and then you analyze, like, while Minato's doing Flying Raijin, while he's, you know, dazed and nerfed against Jubito, and you even analyze Tobirama, and he's basically pulling the same level of feats, while he's arguably dazed and mentally nerfed. It's the same shit. You know what I mean? It's not like one or the other is just doing better. You know what I mean? Like, if you actually look at the overall context, it was the same level of Flying Raijin being used between them. You know what I mean? What's it called? And then even the moment where Jubito attached the orb on Minato's arm when he fucking Flying Raijin'd away from him. You know what I mean? Like, and when he did that, like, Minato's like, oh shit, and it's literally showing him to go grab it and teleport away. But But then Tobirama just comes and he's like, hey, I'll do it instead. He grabs it with his clone, teleports to Jubito because he already had him marked, and then just teleports him away. You know? Like, who cares? Minato was going to teleport either way. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Minato teleported a fucking 10 Tails a Biju Bomb, you know, fucking, and then teleported the entire Shinobi Alliance with everybody, all the ninja and the Shinobi Alliance, from a fucking Tail Beast Bomb again, and saved them twice, which is stated by Tobirama as well. Wow, you even saved the Shinobi Alliance twice. Like, Tobirama is constantly complimenting this fucking guy, you know? Like, narratively, it is just literally just shown and implied that Minato is just better than him in those areas. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to be, like, at least a little bit more favor of Tobirama, yeah, you could argue that Tobirama, I would say, is more smarter because he created, like, all these crazy forbidden jutsus and all this other shit. You know what I mean? And whatnot. But, like, other than that, Minato also created the Rasengan. Minato also enhanced and perfected the Flying Raijin, okay? Minato also can fucking use a space-time barrier and teleport shit wherever he wants. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he just does things on a better level. So Minato's also really smart, but, like, at least in comparison with them making things, sure, give that to Tobirama, but that's about it. You know? Like, if it's just base to base, you know what I mean? You could argue that Tobirama has more stamina and chakra than Minato, but if you really analyze Minato just in base, that motherfucker has a crazy amount of chakra too, even without the Nine Tails. You know, like all the shit he did in the Nine Tails incident, and then the amount of times he can just do Flying Raijin, fucking, you know what I mean? All that, like, all that shit, you know? Like, and then how it takes 3 elite Jonin to utilize Flying Raijin because it costs so much chakra. Like, Minato's no slouch, you know? So if anything, you could easily just say they're just comparable to each other, or maybe Tobirama has it slightly over him because he's a Senju, you know? But it's not like fucking drastically. It's so stupid. And then either way, like, if someone's gonna really have the audacity to argue and debate about KCM Minato, like, what the fuck are we doing here, bro? You know what I mean? Like, it's so dumb. Like, at that point, there's no way you're telling me Tobirama has more chakra and stamina. You know what I mean? Like, look at everything Naruto did with just the Nine Tails chakra. You know? All that shit. Like, so then just apply that same crap with Minato, and then Sage Mode makes you more powerful, more chakra, more stronger and everything. Like, it's just so dumb. Like, you're talking about two characters that utilize similar abilities while Minato just has more advantages, has more chakra, has Sage Mode, which literally counters Flying Raijin, remind you, okay? Like, has KCM that also has sensory and all that and everything, which would be able to react to Flying Raijin as well. Like, Tobirama is not landing any attacks. He's not doing anything to him. And even if he could land an attack, name me one fucking attack that Tobirama has to fucking one-shot a Biju KCM2 transformation. Give me one attack. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, it's just, I don't know, the whole fucking topic is just stupid. But there are certain points in that video, though, where I did rat it out. You know what I mean? Like, certain points, not all of it. It was just very minor points where I was, wanking Minato to a certain degree or ratting it out. And the reason why, I'm being real with you, okay, is the shit that you hear with Tobirama, bro, is far worse and exceeds what I did with those 2 moments that you had an issue with. So...
I'm not saying you were the only one doing this shit.
Yeah.
Like, I just... What I know is they rank Tobirama as well. Like, it's bullshit. He's a Jupiter level. I'm not saying
not.
Like the
No, it's fucking bullshit. Like, not Jupiter level. Definitely not a live Madara level. Like, if anything, if I'm really being honest with you, Loke, I don't think this is really capping either. If anyone even had a chance to even fight against Edo Madara, or better yet, EMS Madara, would be KCM2 Minato. You know what I mean? Along with him having Sage Mode or whatever. Because, you know what I mean? I'm still going to have my money on Madara at the end of the fucking day. Don't get me wrong, I love me Minato, but I'm still going to, but either way, like, if you really look into the war and everything, like Edo Madara even admits to Obito that fucking Naruto was too much for him to handle. That not even wood style would be enough. You know what I mean? So he's like, all right, what's next, basically? Like he literally states that he wasn't able to handle it. He didn't like basically saying, all right, my bad, bro. It was in the when KCM Naruto starts fighting the wood style dragon, which is basically kryptonite to Jinchuriki, and then Naruto's able to overwhelm and beat that as well, which is pretty crazy. And then he's fighting against Madara and doing his thing. Then he even has a speed blitz moment against Obito and Madara as well, when he stops both of their attacks at the same time. And then it just gets to a point where Madara backs up and goes right next to Obito, and he's literally telling Obito, like, my bad, I wasn't able to contain it. I think I have it on my computer, too. Give me one moment.
Wait. Overwhelm and defeat the dragon? Like, that shit literally fucking sucked everything up. Like, the whole avatar was destroyed.
Yeah, the dragon was giving Naruto a run for his money, but Naruto was able to overpower it at a certain point. It does happen.
I have to find this. Wait a minute.
It should be in the anime, too. Fucking yeah, I know it's in the anime.
Fight is definitely there. I just need to find it and watch them. Like, I need to watch
Before, okay, Ten Tails revived. Yeah, he says, I had planned to capture them before the Ten Tails has arrived, but ... they're pretty good. So, and so basically all from that, like, I don't know. It's like, it's to the point where I feel like if Madara did utilize, Susanoo, along with, like, the Rinnegan abilities and with his PS, he should have been able to beat, you know what I mean? Like, KCM Naruto and Killer Bee, and he could have just put him into the statue, there you go, game over, you know what I mean? But instead, like, you know what I mean? Like, he just, they just decided to use the Ten Tails instead. He's like, but whatever, but he just says they're pretty good. But, you know how that goes. Then you have people that look at this, and even in the manga too, and they'll be like, well, because he said that clearly went to show that Madara wasn't capable of capturing KCM2 Naruto and Killer Bee. That he was forced to utilize the Ten Tails. You see where I'm getting at?
He was definitely capable of capturing them.
But I don't know. Like, I feel like that'd be weird to really think that he was forced. Like, I'm pretty sure he could do it.
Like, I'm telling you this right now, Madara always fucks around, that's why it never goes into that full power mode, and I also feel like it's a plot thing, because if he did, it would have been over. It would have been fucking over. It's like Ishimoto needed to write it like that. Like, Madara was always so fucking powerful.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason Kaguya even existed.
Bro, I forgot about that when Madara is like, Obito, should we just test the Ten Tails power and shoot some Tail Beast bombs and shit? And then Obito's like, Madara, you're such a child that you just want to, fucking...
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Madara's like, I got the dude toy, man, I gotta use it.
Yeah. He always fucks around, so I told you multiple times before. We will be talking about him before.
Alright, but anyways,
we were talking about
fucking...
the other day where Madara was able to use his limbo, like, even before he became the Jinchuriki, so if he wanted to, he probably could have just used the limbo to take out everyone.
Yeah, he could have, definitely.
Well, see, that's the thing, though. I don't think he can use Limbo or his Rinnegan abilities while in Edo, though. Because if he could, like, that's all he would have had to do. And it would have been GG from the fucking start. You know what I mean? Like even without Limbo, like, he wouldn't even need that to beat them. But, like, fucking, I don't know. I don't think he could, though. He would have at least maybe used it at some point. You know what I mean?
But he did.
He didn't use it until he was alive.
No, he did use it. He absorbed the Rasen Shuriken with the Preda Path.
Well, yeah, no. I know, like, those abilities. I'm talking about, like, Limbo, though. Like, that's like his eye ability.
Like,
you know
the Rinnegan abilities.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
The Rinnegan abilities are the ones that Pain had. And the special ability of Rinnegan is, the only one that you have per person. Like
Yeah.
Madara has Rainbow, Sasuke has Amenote Chikara.
Yeah. Yep. So, but yeah, like, I don't know. Like, he probably could, and he probably didn't, you know what I mean? Because, like you said, the whole thing of Madara just wanting to have fun and fucking, I mean, just fuck around the whole time and just do his thing. I mean, because if I'm going to be honest with you, like, if I have the power to just kind of body anybody, you know what I mean, or beat them, like, you know, and I had the choice to fight and have some fun, you know what I mean? Like, I might as well. Why not, you know? Like,
Fuck around.
yeah, I would probably fuck around too, you know what I mean? So, but it's like, I don't know. That's either way. Bottom line is what I'm trying to say is you have people that'll look at those little things and whatnot, aka like noodles or etc., and then they'll just immediately like start their scaling bullshit and it's be like, oh well, this clearly goes to show KCM2 Naruto's over Rinnegan Edo Madara, you know what I mean? Therefore, blah blah and this and that, and it's like,
Hell no.
That's by Kakusu, so it's all Naruto.
Exactly. So like, and even if you wanted to give that and say Naruto was forced, Madara was forced to utilize the Ten Tails, okay, which is really weird when he has so many abilities to deal with Naruto, and he's reacting to him over and over as well, which some people can make the argument as well to be like, oh, well, fucking, Naruto, he's been exhausting his chakra, and he's been fighting for a good while, so he's not even at his max prime, yada, 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 whatever. But and it's fair, but still, either way, the fact that Madara can still react to his thing, whatever, is still very impressive. The only time it ever shows where Madara or Obito basically, like, they got overwhelmed, or not really overwhelmed, but, like, beaten, was when Naruto does teleport, but that only happens twice. And I don't know if that's just because, he's either not that great with the body flicker yet with the power of the Nine Tails, or whatever, I don't fucking know, or low in chart, whatever, I don't know. But either way, fucking, when it really comes down to it, like, I don't know. I mean, I do think, like, fucking Edo Madara would more than likely take it, you know what I mean? And as a matter of fact, this even reminded me, I even did a reaction video recently as well, to where it's this guy, I forgot what he's called, I gotta pull up his YouTube, but like, I finally reacted to one of his videos for the first time, and one of his like older videos was, KCM2 Naruto versus Madara, and he wasn't referring to Rinnegan Madara or anything like that. He was referring to EMS Madara, and he was basically stating, and basically what he said in the end, that he really did believe that KCM2 Naruto could be able to beat EMS Madara.
But he still has the PS.
You know what I mean? Exactly. He still has the PS though. And I'm gonna be honest with you though, like, EMS Madara is very powerful. Like, I still sided with Madara during that video. Like, there was a lot of points he made that were understandable or fair, you know what I mean? And like, and I was like, okay, yeah, I see what he's saying, yada yada. And at the end of the day, KCM2 Naruto is no joke. Like, that motherfucker is very powerful. You know what I mean? Like, to the point where I believe it was until he stacked Sage Mode, that's when Hashirama was like, wow, he almost has as much chakra as me, or something like that. I mean, and whether or not you want to refer that to him implying that as his Edo version, which that would make sense, or if you want to really wink Naruto and say as a live Hashirama, whatever. But either way, like, Naruto gets really fucking strong. You know what I mean? Especially if he has Sage Mode. And so it gets to the point where, like, do you think Sage Mode KCM2 Naruto could be able to beat EMS Sasuke? You know what I mean? He has healing regeneration. He has, his crazy speed, power, tail beast bomb. I mean, all that. Madara has the PS. And it's like...
Madara or Sasuke?
Madara. EMS Madara versus KCM2 Naruto.
Yeah, you said Sasuke like 5 seconds ago.
No, not Sasuke. Sasuke would get his ass whooped. What's it called? Fucking, but like, Madara's PS, there's one statement that I do know for a fact that it says it can rival the Biju, the tail beast.
Yeah, that's what he says.
You know what I mean? And I kind of hate that statement because it's so fucking vague. Like, they should have elaborated on that, or better yet, give us more fucking, like, screen time of Madara just utilizing his PS, whatnot. Because clearly with that statement, this goes to show that it can rival Tail Beast and fight whatever. But the question is, can it beat them? And so, I don't really have an issue.
Definitely.
Huh?
I feel like the weaker ones.
Yeah. But when it comes to the Nine Tails, you know what I mean? Like, that's where it's interesting. You know what I mean? And it's like, Naruto obviously would only have half, You know what I mean? So that does help Madara. But do you think Madara would just completely shit on Naruto's avatar Biju? You know what I mean? In just KCM2, and it would take for Naruto to have Sage Mode on top of it to be able to contend with Madara's PS? Or do you think, or do you think Madara's PS still shits on KCM2 Sage Mode, Biju avatar? Because that's what it's going to boil down to. Naruto's going to have to go into his Biju avatar if Madara utilizes his Susanoo, you know? Yeah. And it's like...
What I think is, even in Sage Mode and KCM, the avatar, he would still have problems, and we didn't even take to account Genjutsu, dude. Like...
Well, that would be ineffective because the Kurama would just wake him up. Yeah,
Kurama is there already.
What's it called? Yeah, but either way, like it's I don't know. Like I said, my money is still on Madara. If I even had to argue, I'm still arguing for Madara. But when you really think on it, it's kind of interesting. You know what I mean? Because it's like, like Madara's perfect Susanoo, obviously, as we know, was able to fight against Hashirama's Wood Golem. Okay. And they were going back and forth. And mind you, this is Hashirama without Sage Mode as well with the Wood Golem. Okay, Hashirama actually doesn't use Sage Mode Wood Golem until he's fighting against Rinnegan Madara's perfect Susanoo, which in my opinion is a clear implication that Rinnegan Edo Madara is stronger than fucking EMS Madara. But a lot of people think he's not. While he has all these hacks abilities, Rinnegan, fucking PS Wood style, but okay, he's not stronger than EMS Madara. He is. It's fucking stupid, But anyways.
To make it like
exactly. Kabuto even states it and says like Hashirama was always more powerful than you, but since I added his power to you, now you're unstoppable, you're invincible, and all this other shit. And
I made you more powerful than you were in the other.
Exactly, but yet you'll have other people that'll bring up certain statements, or better yet, the whole thing where it's saying Madara is retaining his original power, like that thing from Hashirama. People will talk about that and basically be like, oh yeah, that has to be referring to EMS Madara. Which, okay, yeah, it's referring to Madara being alive in that sense, but not to that particular version. Why would EMS Madara be more stronger because he's alive than Rinnegan Edo Madara with all his hacks abilities, still a perfect Susanoo, still arrived close to his original power, which is stated by Tobirama. Hashi cells, fucking wood style. Like, are we really kidding right now? Like, imagine him utilizing wood style and putting his Susanoo on top of it. Like, it's like, bro, like, this Madara has so many ways to deal with if he had to fight against himself as EMS. It's so dumb. But there are people out there that will actually argue and say EMS Madara is stronger than Rinnegan Madara because he's an Edo. And all this other shit.
I guess that Madara after that says, like, do you know how strong I was during my glory? And Kabuto says no. That's why I want you to show me your legendary Uchiha power. And then, Gaara attacks, Madara jumps down, and that's when it begins.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's like, I'm being real with you. I don't give a fuck. Edo Madara is stronger than EMS Madara. He's obviously not stronger than a live Rinnegan Madara. It's not rocket science. But EMS? Come on, bro. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? EMS Madara doesn't have no Zetsu cells, no nothing. I mean, just PS and just power itself, okay? Which, yes, he is a beast and he is very powerful. But Edo Rinnegan Madara is a beast. Whole different level, bro.
Like, what the fuck is a live Rinnegan Madara? Just speculation. Because he has the Rinnegan when at that point. He's old.
Yeah, and that too. But, so it's just stupid. But either way, so if we look at EMS Madara, okay, and he's fighting against fucking, KCM2 Naruto, whether if it's his KCM2 Naruto or Sage Mode, it comes to two questions. Does Naruto win? Because he still has healing and all that power and everything, you name it, whatever. And they could basically just be able to, he'll be able to outlast him or something as well. Or do you think Madara still wins and still beats him? And it's also the question, do you think Madara destroys him as well, since he only has half the power? With his PS? It's interesting, In my opinion, I feel like that type of topic would take more looking into, But when you look with Hashirama, Hashirama was able to combat against EMS Madara's PS just with his Wood Golem. And then when when Madara did the Majestic Susanoo with the Nine Tails. Then Hashirama did Sage Mode and with his next form, and he just shitted on Madara. So like, we know Madara's PS can contend with Hashirama's Wood Golem. Okay?
Yeah.
And we've seen KCM2 Naruto be able to fight against the Wood Dragon, but obviously struggled and had all his chakra and everything. And then and the Golem would be more stronger than that, you know, and could also restrain chakra too. I don't see why not. So
and he also has that fucking, you know, but I don't know what it is even. It's not a seal. The thing on his hand.
Well, actually, not even now thinking about it, the Golem, the fucking Wood Golem, not even with Sage Mode either. The Golem, just with normal Golem, was able to grab a fucking Nine Tails a Biju Bomb and slam that shit into Madara Susanoo. not even PS, just like his regular full armor Susanoo. You know what I mean? Like, it was kind of similar when he did the aura like against Tobirama, but he did it fully, kind of like what Itachi's look like. That's what Madara did to block that level of a tail beast bomb. And so you're talking about Naruto that only has half the power. So it's like when Naruto's, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think his Rising Shurikens are breaking through his Susanoo. I don't think his tail beast bombs are breaking through. The only time where it gets questionable is if Naruto stacks Sage Mode. Because with Sage Mode, Naruto was planning to stack Sage Mode on his tail beast bomb to fucking end Jubito, and Jubito at that point, mind you, Jubito actually started getting scared to where he was like, yeah, fuck that. And then he basically initiates the Divine Tree to drain all his chakra and everyone else. And then when Sage Mode KCM2 Naruto was doing like his massive Rasengan with Minato, that was fucking up his True Secret Orb shit and everything and kind of pressuring him and fighting back and forth. And then Sasuke and Naruto doing like their Majestic Susanoo as well. That was, fucking up Jubito's shit as well and kind of pressured him to where it even damaged him. So it just, it's to the point where it's like, do you think Sage Mode KCM2 Naruto could be able to break through Madara Susanoo and beat him because of the power? I don't know.
Like, perhaps he would be able to break through. I don't know about straight up beating him, though.
Yeah, exactly. Like, just beating him, like, it's interesting. But the guy either way, he made the video on it. He had a lot of good, fair or interesting points. But I still side with Madara because at the end of the day, it's fucking Madara we're talking about. And don't get me wrong, I love me some KCM2 Naruto, and even Sage Mode is insane, but it's like, it's Madara, bro. Like, he's smart, you know what I mean? Like, he strategizes, he's used to these, he's had these battles, you know what I mean? Like, he can clearly do these type of battles with Hashirama, like, I don't know. I feel like it just go more in favor narratively with Madara.
Dude, actually, one more thing. There is no way that KCM to Naruto, I know what he's. There is no way, in my opinion, that he has the same AP as Hashirama at that point.
Oh, no. Hell no. Yeah, no, definitely not.
Madara Susanoo was able to withstand.
Yeah, no, Naruto doesn't start being compared to Hashirama until he's Sage Mode with KCM2. That's the only time where Hashirama's like, damn, he almost has as much chakra as me. And then Tobirama's like, wow, like your abilities and whatnot, blah, blah, like one day you might eventually surpass my brother. He doesn't say he did, but he says, you will eventually surpass his brother, Yeah. So it's like, you know what I mean? So it's like, like clearly KCM2 Sage Mode Naruto hasn't gotten to, Hashirama's level, but then again, that's Hashirama, not Madara. You know what I mean? Hashirama's no joke, bro.
I know. But do you think the Avatar, even with Sage Mode, is more powerful than fucking Golem?
Well, no, and that's because it's Hashirama. It would just be more stronger, especially if Hashirama does his Sage Mode as well. There's no way. And two, he could absorb it. It's like, that's like dealing with his own kryptonite and dealing with something more stronger than you. Like, that's not even fair.
That's what I'm saying. Like, is he doing something major against the PS?
Like the PS, because like when we watch the fights with Madara and Hashirama, it's showing like Madara's PS fighting against Hashirama's Wood Golem, and he's not even using Sage Mode every time they're fighting, at least during EMS Madara. Hashirama doesn't apply Sage Mode until he's fighting Rinnegan Perfect Susanoo Madara. That is actually shown. But either way, what's it called? Like, they're fighting, they're going, whatever, they're doing their thing. And then eventually it shows Madara winning. I mean, not Madara, Hashirama winning. Whether it did a time skip. Whether if he won with just the golem, or if he won by going into his full, transformation with or without Sage Mode, we don't know. You know what I mean? But either way, like, he won the fucking battle. And one thing we do know is Hashirama does hold back on Madara too. He's not trying to kill him. That is like his best bud, kind of like Naruto vibes. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of hard to like scale Madara's Perfect Susanoo like equally or equivalent to Hashirama's Wood Golem. You know what I mean? All that. When, for all we know, it's, he's only being able to go back or whatever and fight because, he's just either holding back and then all that other shit. And not only that, with Hashirama having healing to where basically we know Madara has gotten blows or fucked him up, you know what I mean? But it kind of defeats the purpose because he can just heal. So, like, Madara is basically fighting someone that is stronger, that can heal from anything, even if he does land attack. It's like a losing battle. It's not even fair for Madara, So, like...
Don't forget the PS was able to actually, like, pick up the golem and throw it around, like, spin it and throw it around.
Yeah. No, it's strong. Yeah. So, it's like... I mean, so... It's interesting. You know what I mean? So, it's like... It's either Madara still wins because he's fucking Madara, Or two... which, another thing, too... I don't see why EMS Madara wouldn't be able to do clones and do a Perfect Susanoo. I'm just saying. Obviously, the reason why he didn't do that against Hashirama is because Hashirama could just do the same thing. He could just do clones and Wood Golem, But with Naruto, like, to my memory, I don't think Naruto's ever done clones with a QB avatar. I'm not saying he can't.
He did.
He did?
But he did against Sasuke.
Oh yeah, he did. Okay, so he could probably be able to do it even while with KCM too. But it's like, we're now thinking about it, bro. Now really thinking about it, because I totally forgot. Naruto has KCM 2, right? Then KCM 2 stacked with Sage Mode, along with the Biju, and then if Kurama starts gathering nature energy, then Kurama's Biju mode also has fucking, like more of a... Remember like that full-headed, like, weird transformation he did against Sasuke?
Yeah.
Like, I think that is probably the only way Naruto could pull it off. But that's if he could even be able to do that at that point in time.
That's 6 paths.
I know it's 6 paths, so I'm just saying, like, I don't think the Nine Tails would need to be 6... or Naruto would have to be 6 paths in order for the Nine Tails to gather, nature energy and then just pull it towards him,
That attack is literally called 6, like something 6, but like Asura.
That could just be a name thing.
Yeah, but that just could be a name thing, Like I get, like, either way, I get what you're saying too. But like, I'm just saying, like, if Kurama, like, because I remember that he was sitting down gathering nature energy. He's like, all right, I gathered as much as possible. And another thing too, it's easier to gather nature energy faster and get a shit ton amount of it when you're in KCM. That is also stated. So he gathers like a shit ton. He's like, it's probably a lot more than you should need, but whatever, here you go. And he gives it, and Naruto feels like that overwhelming surging of power, which is weird because it's like, technically Naruto's already in KCM 2 Sage Mode, but I guess it's like, I don't know, like not full. So when Kurama does that, it gives him way more. Now it's like completely, and it even changes like the avatar. So like, it's 3 stages, It's KCM 2, then KCM 2 Sage Mode, Biju avatar, and then like actual Sage Mode Biju avatar transformation. Like if the avatar has its own Sage Mode transformation, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So like, if he does that, and if he can, that's obviously if he can. We don't, there's no way to really know. You can have people that can argue, be like, I don't see why he wouldn't be able to, yada yada. But then you got people be like, oh no, that's probably he can only do that if he has 6 paths, and it will require that. So either way, I'm not going to get into that. But if he does that, even regardless of him not being 6 paths or not, he might be able to beat Madara. he might and be able to overpower him and beat him. But that's like the only way I really see that. And obviously, I'm not going to talk about Sixth Path Naruto. That's stupid. Why would you talk about Sixth Path Naruto against EMS Madara? That's not even fair. Like, he's even stronger than Hashirama at that point, you know?
Yeah. I think he's definitely Six Paths only with that attack, because if you remember correctly, he forms those two Rasen Shurikens, and those are special, like Biju Bomb and other shit, and then he wasn't...
Yeah, it was a massive Rising Shuriken, and another one was like a Sage Mode massive Rising Shuriken. Like, one was a Biju Bomb Rising Shuriken, and the other one was like a Sage Mode one instead. Like, but it was a Biju Bomb, but it was with Sage Mode as well. And he fucking just, you know, threw that shit, and Sasuke's like, "Oh, you're finally willing to kill me now," or whatever. But like, one thing I will say though is Naruto did a shit ton of like Tail Beast Rising Shurikens, you know, against Madara's like meteors and shit. And then, you know what I mean? And if he can, and he also did like a massive Rising Gon in that form too. So I don't see the issue of him being able to utilize a BG Rising Shuriken in the Avatar mode. But, you know.
Yeah, but as I said, that only happened when he was Six Paths.
No, I know. What's it called? And you know, and it's just a weird thing. Like, you can literally argue, you know what I mean, because he never did that before and everything, because he's obviously still utilizing the power, learning to, you know, manage it and yada yada. So maybe he just couldn't do it because he hadn't figured it out yet. Or you could argue that he could, as long as, you know, he's pressured enough, and eventually he's like, all right, I need it, you know, whatever. And that happens. Or, you know, you have the argument it can only happen if he's Six Paths or not. You know, so it's like I said, it's a whole other can of worms. But I'm just saying, like, if he's able to...
I don't know, because to me, that just feels like the same people who utilize the logic that, well, we never saw Minato combine
but we know he could do it, though, which we know... Yeah, true, and that is true, too. That is a good point, because at the end of the day, we know Minato could be able to stack Sage Mode on his avatar if he wanted to. Absolutely, we would be able to, because if this motherfucker could activate, you know, KCM2 on the spot, then do the avatar mode on the spot, do Sage Mode perfectly instantaneously on the spot, it's very dumb to think he can't do that, you know what I mean, and combine them both, which he would be able to, which he'd be even more of a monster. But then again, one argument someone could use against that, though, is, well, that's Minato, not Naruto. You know what I mean? And because Minato's like a prodigy genius.
The argument requires the same logic.
True,
like, you can't just say just because they never did it doesn't mean, because there's lots of characters in Naruto who didn't just do something like
Sasuke as well, like compared to Madara, like where Madara is able to, he's the only character shown to do Susanoo without his eyes. You know what I mean? And even though all the other Uchiha never did that, well, technically Shisui did it with one eye, but what's it called? You know, like, it would be weird to say they probably wouldn't be able to do it if they didn't have their eyes, well, Madara can. But then, once again, you know, then you'll have people be like, well, that's just Madara, that's why, you know, and yada yada. So, you know, it is what it is. but no, I get both perspectives. At the end of the day, I get what he's saying, I get what you're saying. I'm obviously elaborating on both sides too, so it is what it is. But bottom line is, with like KCM2 Naruto and fucking you know, and EMS Madara, I think it would be a cool fight. I think Madara still wins. Could Naruto be able to pull it off, especially if he like goes into like stack and Sage Mode as well? Like, and if you look at everything he's done against Jubito, who's 6 Paths level, you know, it's like, you know what I mean? So, but then again, you could like I said, this would take homework, and I would have to look back into it to really like give my opinion on it. But like, you could also probably make arguments for Jubito to just be holding back too. You know, I'm just saying, because Jubito that whole time, he is conflicted throughout. He's literally the whole fucking time trying to like persuade Naruto, you know what I mean, to come and turn over. He sees the similarities between him and Naruto, you know what I mean. So that's kind of causing him, you know, issues. Then his, you know, his interaction with Minato and all that. You know, that was kind of mentally, you know, affect him to a certain degree. There was even a point where he even said, like, Minato Sensei as, like, in despair when he didn't know if he was going to be able to control the you know, the Ten Tails while he absorbed it, while he was this mindless Jubito. Like, there was a lot, you know what I mean? And so you could imply that Jubito was, you know, either holding back or just not focused, and that's why he was either getting overwhelmed or pressured or whatever. because it's really weird to have a 6-pass level character, especially Obito, and then just for him to just lose to fucking Naruto and Sasuke without 6-pass, Because what we do know is obviously the Ten-Tailed Jinchuriki has a weakness to Sage Jutsu, but doesn't mean he's necessarily going to lose, You can have a weakness to something, but it doesn't mean you lose, So, I don't know.
Yeah,
and Naruto doesn't have access to a Majestic Susanoo. Sasuke's not going to be there. That's stupid. So it's like, so it's like that shit goes out the window with all those feats that he did against Jubito. The only thing you can utilize with Naruto is what he did with the Massive Rasengan against his True Seeking Orbs. And then the moment Naruto said, all right, fuck that wasn't enough, let's do a Tail Beast Bomb instead and incorporate Sage Mode onto that, then Obito was like, yeah, no, fuck that. And then he just summoned a Divine Tree and used hacks to beat him. So, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I really don't know. But
the thing with Sage Mode and the weakness against keys, like Madara was the 10,000 Jinchuriki, and he fucking clamped me with Sage Mode. That didn't matter. He was more powerful than him, faster and everything. Like, the weakness didn't matter.
Well, see, that's the funny thing. Well, not even Jubi Madara. Like, fucking even a live Madara, was able to beat a KCM2 Naruto that can stack Sage Mode as well, which I think he probably was still stacking that too. And he was able to beat him. But to be fair, he didn't beat him with like his power or PS. He just beat him with a hacks ability Limbo. Limbo was just fucking broken. And then he summoned the Ghetto Statue of Chains and more hacks, and that's it. You know what I mean? He didn't just beat him with power. He beat him with hacks. But Jubi Madara, like you were saying, that Jubi Madara, fucking, like, he didn't start struggling with characters until he was fighting against, like, 8th Gate Guy, you know what I mean? Or 6-path Sasuke Naruto. And that Jubi Madara, I know damn well, is not losing to KCM2 Sage Naruto, even in a contest of power. You know what I mean? Like, that would just be really weird. That'd be really weird, dude. Because we know Madara was more powerful than Jubito. There's no way you can't say he wasn't. So
No, he was. And Madara didn't even struggle at any point.
Yeah, no, he wasn't, yeah. So, either way, like, I don't know. I think it's a cool topic. I think it's pretty interesting, with KCM2 Naruto against EMS Madara at the very least, but I still feel like Madara would win. That's just where I stand so far on that.
But, like, then here comes Zetsu, Black Zetsu with